What's up, fam? All clouded, and holy moly, we did it! The big 1,000. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Before we go around and we do our usual, because I do have... normally I pick up things as I get it during the week, but we've caught it. It's all fallen at the right time, right in line with this vid. This is episode 52, man. Damn, so that's a year's worth of weekly updates. I think I missed maybe one or two. Maybe one or two in there, and for good reason. But damn, before we go around and we do the round table, we do the loop-de-wahs, just a massive shout out to all of you guys. All of yous. Shout out to all the tower tubers for giving me shout outs, sending people my ways, and I try to the best of my ability to do the same thing. But most importantly, massive shout out to you guys for sticking it out with me. The amount of support that I get from you guys, the lads showing up to every stream, keep your chat alive, everybody that jumps in, that tunes in for the weekly updates. As far as how my journey's been, it's just a massive thing having you guys a part of the journey. So now all the soppy stuff's out of the way. Man, I was so excited for this episode. It might be small fry to some people, but the new toys that we're about to get, I'm absolutely over the moon. So what we would normally do at this time is, we could probably look at the run. But this run, for the most part, is just background noise. So we could do the little scribble sign on the screen. And we're just going to end it. And we're going to get straight into it, gentlemen. Boom. Exit. Surrender. Yes, get off me, lad. So, before we go around, I'm just going to ask you guys a question. And it's totally up to you. But because we've hit the 1K, I've turned ads on in the videos. Now, what I don't want to do, because I haven't even really set them up properly, I'm just like, yeah, on, whatever. But if it's super annoying to you fellas, I'll either try to figure out how to put it at the end or something like that, or if not, I'll just turn it off, man. It's not like we're going to be a millionaire off it, but hey, while it's there, turn it on, and you wouldn't believe it, we've made $1. Yeah! Round of applause, we've made $1. So, we don't normally farm tier 15, but sometimes, like, say if I do these uploads or whatever, or it's like tournament day or something like that, I might slide in like 2 tier 15s. And for the most part, the coin per hour is very, very similar to my usual runs. And it's obviously a much shorter run. So let's hit our stats. Stats for the week. I think that takes us to 15, 45, about 60Q this week. Roughly, give or take. A little bit down on last week, but I think that is mainly because I've had a few runs die on me. And I think that's mainly either to the spaghetti code of the game or the performance on my cloud phone. You guys know what it's like. It looks like it pauses for a second or two and then boom. 18 keys. We're almost at 50,000 stones. Ha, cash. Look at that, 234 trilly. Waves completed, 6.31 mil. Research, labs, 2.2k. Very nice. It says that I spent 172Q in the lab coin spent. I'm not too sure how accurate this is. I'm sure I've done some masteries and stuff, and then I haven't really seen much movement, but I don't know, that might just be me. As far as our peaks go, so we've seen a peak of 53.65 and 2.36Q. So this whole factor here, so this part here with the waves, I don't really need much more waves because that's about a 5-hour run for me. So I don't really need too much more than that. The only way that I would go deeper for more waves is if I was looking to adjust how I, versus my IRL schedule. Or potentially look to push deeper into the waves. Excuse me. And see if that carries over to tier 15 to go further in there. Something like that. But we'll figure the whole pattern out. At the moment, doing 3 5-hour runs is perfectly fine. And as far as the coin goes, very little movement. And that is mainly because we have not been focusing on econ at the moment. So just whatever econ gains we get, it's just the passive ones. Either that's through modules, relics, or potentially being more efficient at our build. So that's the stats. I have not done any further milestones. I will soon, but not at the moment. I just can't be bothered, to be honest. And I know, all clouded. Stones you don't have are stones left on the table. I know that, lads. But we'll get around to it. Maybe in a day, a week or so, we'll go and do that. We could have a look at run history. So we're a little bit all over the place. But we'll look at what's more like a typical run. So this run here, 447 trill an hour, that was, we didn't get the coin trade-off until, what was it, maybe 2,500 waves. I think we had a good one back here somewhere. I think it was prior to Tawny. Here we go, 467. But, you guys can see it. For the most part, we're all looking around that part. What's really good, if you guys recall last video, is I was being a crybaby about the cash mastery. My reroll shards have basically doubled. So now that we've got levels into it, and this is without the enemy balance mastery, we're doing pretty good. Look, cells is alright too. So that'll be roughly, let's round it up to 200 for mathematical sakes. It's about 850,000 stones if we include our cells, sorry. If we include our overnight run. So we're doing alright for cells. And here's the tier 15. About 444. The annoying thing is, look at that, 2 hours, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, we're all game freaks. If you're watching this video, then there's a nerd part in your brain just like me, and you're probably a game freak. But I am not that game freaky that I'm gonna sit there and restart the bloody thing non-stop every 2 hours. Like, there's at least got to be 3.5 hours before I go there. I think that's what it was like when I went to tier 14. I think it was about like 3.5 hour runs. And, that's short enough for me. Ideally, we want to be no shorter than 4 hours. But hey, if you do that, you do you, lads. And kudos to you. I can't be effed. Alright. So, we went over stats. We went over runs. Let's get to the first source of the party. The juicy gentlemen. Let's go, bro. Look at the marshmallow bracket. Look at it. 8th place. Bro, on stream too. Wouldn't believe it. This little sucker down here. Old Neo Scowls tried landing on me. The little grub. But hey, look, we pulled ahead. Neo, if you're watching this, I love you, fam. But please, brother, no piggybacks. Look at this poor joker down here. I think it's like one of these two guys. At least this is what you want to do. If you're not really active at the moment in the game, you at least want to like log in and do your 20. And it looks like what this guy's done. Like, it's just caught up. He at least put a one wave in or whatever. So at least there's stones or something. But I think he's in a pretty good position. Anyway, that's enough talking about these other jokers. So we got 511 waves. Super fluked it. We must have did like 5 or 6 tries. And I was just sitting there spitting yarns on the stream. And then all of a sudden I turned around and I was like, damn, I better stop talking. We're actually, we're getting movement past our previous wave. So we're at 470. And then we pulled ahead. Just enough to get old the brother Neo off me back. What that does mean, gentlemen, claim. Boom. 475 gems. 325 stones, lad. 8 keys, bro. If Marshmallow was a bracket, you would say Orcada was the warlord of the marshmallows. Bro, I can't. Bro, 8 keys. That makes up for us not getting keys in this one. I got a PB, 519 waves. I actually think because of the battle conditions, I think everybody got PBs for that one. But the warlord of the marshmallows come in. But I missed out by 14 or 18 waves or something like that. But hey, look, you win them and you lose them. And then you get the marshmallows. What that does mean, gentlemen's, is let's hit up that vault. Bro, I've been waiting so long to get this. I first seen this, I swear, like a year ago, whenever the hell it came out, and JP unlocked it. And then I seen it and I was like, hey, what the hell? And I couldn't understand it. And I remember like being in the voice channel and he was like streaming his game, and then I like seen it in its full effect, and I swear he was doing like an orbless build and he was just shredding, and I was like, damn, bro, I can't wait to get me some of that. So let's, without further ado, demo mode will activate when the cooldown is complete. Boom. Unfortunately, we're about 1400 gems away from buying the card slot, but it doesn't mean we can't have a little jiggly jiggleson and see what we can do. But look at that. And the crowd goes wild. Let's go. So, event. Not gonna lie, not very many favorable things for me. Crit chance, yeah. Orb speed, good. I think I've missed so many orb speed relics though, that like you really want them so that they're like all stacking up in that. And again, we get the nuke mission. How you gonna do us like that, uncle? My uncle. I haven't even put these on and had a look. I'm assuming they probably look all goods. For the most part, I run like a simple one. Relics, really good for, yeah, for the most part, really good for, you know, EHP players or hybrids. There's a little bit of movement here. So, and I know this is probably not the ideal thing to do. Like, you should be thinging up your gold bot and all of that, but I just feel like doing amp bot. I really just feel like doing amp bot. And what I am actually going to do is I'm actually going to throw it into sync for a while. So I'm going to throw it into sync with my gold bot. So at 65 seconds, everything lights up on the screen. And then hopefully with a good enough amp bot, we can use it in that kill window to drill everything down. And then after that, like after we have a little play around with that, then we start looking at trying to get as much uptime as possible. But I feel like having as much uptime as possible will probably be better for me in a 59 second sync. You know, with a perma GT, so that it's just constantly adding to the combo. But I feel like that downtime, I don't want the amp bot up and then just slaughtering everything in the downtime, even though everything on the screen doesn't count to the combo. But that's just what I feel like doing, and I feel like that's what I'm going to do. So we have got 7 days until the season ends. Now, I do recall seeing something on the Discord, and it looks like they're going to put out like a little minor patch, maybe a few little tweaks and stuff. And I would expect it to be, you know, before that 7 day ends. And we may get a mid-league patch, but, you know, I'm not sure. I thought there wouldn't be a major patch at this time. Here's how Fetch is looking. Here's how Summon's looking. I won't do any movement until I go for a different strat, and whatever that strat looks like is whatever it looks like. If we do like some little swapping around, and everybody's shop should be like this, completely sold out. If not, you've got this week to get your contributions in there, and then hopefully that gets you guys over the edge. I understand how the system works, and I hope whoever's watching this video, you got a good guild. That's that. Workshop, I'm just keeping workshop the same. I normally don't have the rapid chance, but here's how the workshop's looking. Take a pause if you're interested. Still rocking the 170 shockwave. $400, $450. Enhancements. Here's enhancements. I did pick up 5 levels of attack speed. I don't know where I got the change from, but after the respec last night's tourney, I had a bit of change, and then that's just what I went with. I just threw it on attack speed. It was pretty cheap. It might have only been like 12Q or something like that. Bit of health, bit of wall health, bit of orb size. What I do need to do is actually ban that regen trade-off perk, the one that gives you like 8 times regen. I really need to get rid of that, Like, I need as much sponge as possible. And some stage, I am going to pump up recovery package, just to try to help with overcharge. Actually, let's see how much it is. We'll see if we can do it here. It's cheap as chips. We'll leave it like that. 1.7. So here's how this tab's looking. I need about 30Q for that. What I might do is do the cells and then keep them in line. Because with 4 masteries running, we seem to be having a bit of coin left over, and it might change when we're doing 5. I haven't really looked in too much into like working it out and what I can afford. I know there's tools out there, but I'm pretty free spirited, and we're just gonna roll with it. UW dubs, here they are looking. Now, I did get asked last night in the stream, when am I going to look at going into Chain Lightning? And I think after we pick up some of these big multipliers to get the Masteries landed and going, I think that's when we're going to start looking into it. So I'm really going to look to Gold Box Chance, Gold Box Quant, and I'll probably add a little bit of damage sooner rather than later. I was actually thinking, it was funny because it got brought up in stream, and I was literally thinking about it that morning. Thinking about like, just from like a raw multiplier, and I'm not smart enough to actually figure out like what it would be with chance in that, but I think the maximum chance is like 20 something %, might be like high 20s, just under 30, just under the 30s. So my mind leans to, that's basically, if you're doubling your chance of Chain Lightning, then you're doubling your damage. You're also stacking up more, because I'm using the Dimension Core, something or other. It just sounds like it works. So sooner rather than later, we're gonna give Chain Lightning a bit of touch of love. Everything else is just all looking the same. If you are curious, I do have the Chrono Loop. It's only level 3, and I do have GD Plus, and it's only level 4 at the moment. And then everything else is looking quiet. I did crunch some numbers, and sooner rather than later, I'm going to do Spotlight, Bonus, and Angle as well. Because I think at some stage, we'll go for the, we'll just stomach it, and we'll pick up the 4th quad. Spotlights are the Ohm chip's definitely carrying us at the moment. Ohm chip's definitely carrying us at the moment. And now, Masteries. So, first off to go with Masteries, we completed Intro Sprint. So the only thing that's going to make us the most efficient, the last thing left, is actually Wave Skip Mastery. So Wave Skip is % chance to double Wave Skip, 10%. So once we get this, that'll be the most maximumist of you know, our time efficiency, wave efficiency, whatever we want to call it. I don't know if there's any other way that you can speed it up more than that. You know, we've got the wave accelerator, whatever, intro sprint, you know, we'll pretty much be all guns blazing as far as the most efficient, as long as we can keep the game running 24/7. So we maxed that out. Obviously, recovery package is maxed out. That was done a while ago. Cash mastery, so we're sitting at level 4, which is about 2%. So this will pair up really well with enemy balance mastery. And how far is this? How much is this? 1,000. Woof. So that's roughly like two weeks worth of savings. Obviously, wave accelerators maxed. Free ups may or may not pick up another ban. That's probably more if I'm fiddling around with G-Comp. At the moment, I'm pretty cool. I don't really need it. And damage is obviously max. Hey, give it back. Damage is obviously max. Super Tower's doing a hell of a lot better now as far as consistency goes. So it's got about 6 second downtime. So 15 seconds up, 16 seconds down. So it's about roughly 75% uptime. 75% of the time it's active. I do think I might have another lab or so to complete the standard Super Tower lab, not the Mastery lab. I'm pretty sure that I've got like another level or 2 to go. But yeah, it's definitely noticeable for farms. It's definitely noticeable in tourneys. It's just performing a hell of a lot better, and that's what makes me want to invest stones in Spotlight. And you guys seen how cheap those bonus was and how cheap the angle was. And I think it's something that we just you know, go for it. I think we just go for it, lads. I think we just go for it. But if you guys do notice, obviously from those winnings, we've got some stones. So we're going to pick up a mastery. Now, the ones that I'm tossing between is Energy Net and Ultimate Crit. Now, I haven't seen the numbers, and I haven't done the calculations, and I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go Ultimate Crit first. And I feel like it will help with fleets. But out of pure frustration, I feel like I'm just going to go with Energy Net. Like just pure frustration with bosses. So that's what we're going to do, gentlemen. Right or wrong, let's just get deep in our feels and let's do it. Boom, lads. You've seen it live. I think Anorna calls it the, what was it? The F the bosses mastery. So that gives us 2x multiplier, so I think it maxes 20x. Now if I'm trying to use my brain, I'm thinking if we get it like halfway, so maybe at a 10x multiplier, I think we could change our perks around so we can get the boss health trade-off. It's like, gives you like 65% more damage or something like that. I think, yeah. I'm trying to think about the other perks. 70% less health. Righty. Either way, at some stage, because the orb adjuster is so far away for us, at some stage we will get that humming. So yeah, woo! Round of applause. So that's it for cards. Cards are actually fun now. I remember for the longest time, prior to this like literal point when we're picking up masteries and labbing them, I honestly just like used to just go, yeah, here's cards, here's how many card slots, we're out. Oh, how much is it? So 8,500, so we've still got 1,400 odd gems to go, and then we're going to pick up that card slot and we're going to slot the demon mode in, and we are automatic. I might also have a play around with some slots, but we're literally sometime this week, by next week's update, that'll be us. That'll be us. We'll be rocking the 21 card slots. So moddies, so I am trying this configuration this week because I did mention it in the previous videos that a lot of the movement is going to be Space Displacer, ACP, and OA. And I did OA as primary for a couple weeks. I just finished up last week, a majority of last week, doing ACP and Space Displacer. So ACP is the primary. And this week I'm doing Space Displacer and ACP as the assist. And I feel like I've given them a good enough trial and I've made enough tweaks throughout this period since I unlocked that slot from the W in the chat for sibling era, that I feel like I've given them a good enough run. I know how they perform and I know the weaknesses in my build for each kind of configuration. And the only reason why I'm trying this configuration where we've got Space Displacer as main is just to kind of seal that off at the book. But for the most part, we ran Space Displacer when we converted to Glass Cannon, that I just know how it's going to go. Like, I basically know, you know, the weaknesses in the build and that. As far as anything else, these slots are still looking the same. There's no movement, and at some stage we will be in a position to invest in it. I honestly just don't know when. I honestly haven't. I've just been focused in on Masteries at the moment. Yeah, we haven't been pulling moddies. Look, I got 280,000 rerolls. I swear, this is probably the most you guys have ever seen me have in a very long time. Like, since, my beginner days when I was just a little girl. And I might have, over a million, 1 or 2 million sitting there. Yeah, wild, bro. Wild. Wild having that much. That's just this, 59. Wow. 6,400 each level. So these are we're getting up there too. We're almost at the 201. 201 for the next subset. Super excited for that. That's why we need a lot of rerolls. So I did mention that we have completed the intro sprint. I will actually complete out this core ban. So what I might do is I might drop the coin discount. I think this is the last level. And I was running it at 5x to just to really complete it. But I might actually drop it. We'll start the research on the energy net. And then when this is finished, something or other, I really want to pick it up. Is this doing anything for me? I probably feel like past 80%, it probably does knock. But at the end of the day, it's over time. It probably contributes to something. So what we're going to do, we will change that to a 4-speed. And let's get our new toy. Look at that, gold box. Very nice to see. Gentlemen, what was that? Oop. Energy net. Let's highlight that. Boom. Straight to 4x. Straight to 4x damage. That's wild. That is wild. Spoiled little brat. Alright. So, yeah, that's it for labs. We can look at the history. For the most part, it's just tied up. It's just tied up with that lab discount. And then with the Masteries, yeah, just ticking along. Just ticking along, gentlemen. We can look at the history if you're interested, but there's not too much to it. These little ones here, like damage per meter, cash, you know, like whatever those ones like, that's just where I'm switching up for 20s. It's just Masteries. Now, because I haven't done this in a while, because I've been pausing runs, good thing is, we can look at perks. So what I'll do is if I do a tier 15 run, I take these 3 here, and I basically, we swap. And the reason why I have these 3 up here is to delay as much as possible, delays damage feeding into my tower. I don't need too much grunty damage. But when I do tier 15, I put those in so we get them sooner. As far as my bans, I do want to pick up a ban. See, this is the one that we want. This is the one that we want, lads. So 8 times health. So we'll wait till we buff up that energy net mastery, and then we can unban this. And then what I want to ban next, the thing that is a pain, is, where is it? It's a trade-off. Where are you? This is a pain. Bro, I can't even see it. Am I buzzing? What the hell is going on? This one. I want to ban this. I want that 60% health back. I'm sick of it taking away my health. And people be clouded. Your glass cannon. Why do you want health? Because when I do an ACP main and Space Displacer as my assist, I run a high shockwave. It performs the best for me as far as like drilling down. I get more consistency in my farms because I can kill fleets. Or, you know, I have a higher chance of killing fleets. The shockwave is just out there, spams everything, tags it. I have the highest chance to kill fleets that way. And when I run up to an overcharge, most of the time I don't have a wall, and it's just picking off at my package. So I want a higher package. Like, does that sound stupid? I want a higher package. You guys know what I mean. My overheal. I want a higher overheal. And yeah, getting rid of that perk is super good. I don't even know how much the next ban is. Let's have a look. How many days? 74 days. Bro, you definitely need to 5x that. Bro, you are absolutely nuts if you're not going to do that. And even then, that's like 2 weeks, isn't it? Is that 2 weeks at 5x? Or is my math not mathing? Something like that, bro. That's ages. Holy moly. And I am going to pick up that bad, and then we'll stop there because I'm pretty sure the next level like jumps dramatically. That's us for the week. So what are we doing this week? We're going to get that other card slot. We're going to roll with the auto demon. And we are going to take over the world. One marshmallow bracket at a time. So, if you like what you see, you know the drill, fam. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see when the next video is coming out. And as always, keep it cloudy, fam.